There is a post-credits scene in Saw X that teases further, and the Saw franchise is back with another story centered on John Kramer. 2 years after the last chapter in the horror series, which was the first to exclude Tobin Bell's Jigsaw, comes the 10th installment. In Saw X, Bell's character becomes the protagonist, as the film travels back to almost the start of the series, bringing John Kramer back for his largest part to date. As a result, the series is placed in a fairly unusual situation when looking to the future when Saw X is set in the timeline. The prequel film is set prior to Kramer's final downfall. Despite the fact that Saw X may have been released before most of the other Saw films, it still has the power to establish and make connections to the franchise's future, including possible Saw 11 films as well as already produced films. Although the movies have never used a post-credits scene to tease future sequels, the franchise has a way of leaving things open. With the increasing popularity of this technique in Hollywood over the years, it seems inevitable that the Saw movies will eventually feature an after-credits sequence. The existence of a post-credits sequence in Saw X has been formally confirmed, and it takes place in the middle of the credits. This means that viewers can choose to stay for the end credits scene, making it the first Saw movie to do so. The additional tag starts halfway through the credits and relates to the entire franchise, without giving away any plot details. A chance to see the names of the screenwriters, actors, and other staff members who put a lot of effort into making the film is another perk of waiting for the mid-credits scene. It's safe to assume that the Saw X end credits scene is something that fans of the franchise will not want to miss. The tag extends the narrative for important characters and builds upon the movie's conclusion. It also has extensive ties to the entire Saw universe. With the return of both John Kramer and Shawnee Smith's character Amanda from the prequel plot of Saw 3, there was always a chance that the film might establish the direction the franchise would go. In addition to making connections with previously seen stories, the post-credits sequence opens up additional possibilities for exploration. Detective Mark Hoffman reappears in the movie's mid-credits sequence, setting up a new game that follows the events of Saw X. Henry Kessler is brought by John Kramer and cuffed in the original Saw chamber at the start of the scene. Because of his part in deceiving John and Cecilia Peterson's scam, Henry has been singled out to be the next player in Jigsaw's games. Hoffman returns in the Saw X post-credits sequence, having previously worked mainly with Amanda. As they switch on the device to fix to Henry's chest to begin a fresh game, he is shown collaborating with John. The entire Saw X film sets up Hoffman's comeback. Early in the film, John can be heard on the phone with the detective, implying Hoffman's involvement in the scheme. Audiences then get to hear Mandler's voice in a second dialogue with the character played by Tobin Bell in the film. It makes sense to include Hoffman in the mid-credits scene after teasing him in this manner throughout the main film. Because the film serves as a prologue and takes the ultimate Jigsaw replacement back to a time when he was just an apprentice in training, it is made feasible. The post-credits sequence from Saw X serves as a possible trailer for the plot of Saw 11. The chronology of the Saw film series can be a little complicated, but it seems likely that there will be another prequel in the next installment. The events of Saw 11 may involve John Kramer's pursuit of individuals who could have contributed to Cecilia's deceptions, which the film indicates had lasted for 8 years. That provides John and Hoffman with a large pool of potential victims to hold accountable for their transgressions. This would be a nice approach to keep Hoffman and Amanda around while also continuing the personal narrative that Saw X offers John. Even though Amanda is absent from the Saw X mid-credits sequence, if more prequels are made, she should still play a role in the franchise's future. This might entail Saw 11 delving deeper into the rivalry that, as John's cronies Amanda and Hoffman inevitably shared. Hoffman helped set up the brief exploration of this in Saw 3 prior to Amanda's passing. The franchise can expand on the mid-credits sequence from Saw X to better explore Amanda and Hoffman individually, their rivalry, and their history with John by maintaining the plot of Saw 11 before that of either of the original sequels.